Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I know you don't want to see my chest. There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. This is an empty bottle of spicy steak sauce.
You drank it all.
Oh, my hair. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, yeah. So I just want to say that the weather, I don't even know how to explain it because it's not that bad where we are, except for the temperature, which, according to Weather Underground, it's 0.7, which I assume means 7 degrees below zero.
Well, they said the reason we didn't get a lot of snow is because like the air was very dry and it sucked the moisture out of the air and killed the snow basically.
Okay. So in some places got what, like 2 or 3 feet,
Inches.
18 inches of snow. Yeah.
Philadelphia got almost 14.
Wow. So I'm how do I say this without offending people? I guess there's no way to say it without offending people because I'm laughing at some of you in Texas right now.
Well,
the temperature is like going to be in the 30s or the upper 20s at best. I mean, at worst, it's going to be like the upper 20s. And you're going to have snow.
Texas isn't used to it either.
Well, that's true. But it's 7 degrees below zero here. Although we didn't have much snow here. We definitely didn't have much. So like a good dusting. Yeah. And you go outside right now, I have a pair of jeans on. And that cold just goes straight through the blue jeans. Lucky he goes out, he wants to come right back in.
John didn't even want to go out.
Yeah, John doesn't even want to go out.
Well, I think he was kind of slow.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, wait a minute, I don't know about my feet.
And so it's like the Cape Cod area down in Mass, they got some weather.
They got smacked.
Yeah, they got smacked. So, yeah, they actually have snow. But I mean,
here's that ambulance.
Oh.
I think that's the one. She's been to dialysis.
Oh.
The patient inside. She was killed. She's on her way back home from dialysis.
Is it Milford?
I think so. What do you think? Because you drive a Mercedes, you can just do whatever the hell you want to, bitch?
Over in Milford, which is east of us, it's like southwest of Manchester. They were taking this lady back home from her dialysis treatment, and this lady in this, what kind of car was it? Mercedes. Just went right through a stop sign and bam, the ambulance, if you
rolled.
Yeah, it rolled, and then wound up at one point on top of the guardrail, like on the divider between the lanes, or between.
Yeah, the back end of it was up off the ground.
Yeah. She must have been going pretty fast. Yeah. The paramedics, they say, were injured, but they're going to be okay. Milford.
One man is under arrest in connection with a violent attack on a postal worker in Dorchester. Tonight, there's a manhunt for another suspect. Police say the two men jumped into the postal worker's truck, put a pistol to his head a couple days before Christmas. That postal worker was shot in the wrist. Investigators say the two men then took the keys and began driving away in that mail truck. The victim eventually jumped out.
See, the nice thing, folks, about where we live, if somebody did something stupid like that, we, the citizens, we, the people, whatever, we'd just deal with it. And the cops would show up, they always show up later, you know, they don't show up when it's happening, they show up after the fact. And they would just like, oh, thanks for, you know, taking care of it for us. But, anyway, so, yeah, the weather is, for some people anyway, the weather is tough. Gosh, in Massachusetts, they're going to add more taxes on soda and...
I think they're finally putting on candy and sodas. I think it's one of the few things that hasn't had taxes. The way I understand it to be.
See, thankfully here in New Cary, we don't have a whole lot of, we don't have a general sales tax, but we do
have hot food.
Yeah, hot food and beverage tax.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and the businesses have an inventory tax, which I think is ridiculous.
And I think there's a hotel tax, isn't there?
Might be. I know there's a camping tax. Who ever heard of a camping tax, people? But anyway.
Well, I think it's because there's a lot of people go camping here.
Yeah.
Trying to take advantage of it, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, so those of you experiencing the storm, stay safe, please. For us, I don't think it's going to be anything more than cold, which is, I mean, with the temperature the way it is, as long as it doesn't rain and then, you know, the trees turn into ice and they start falling down, as long as you're not stuck out there unless you have like ski pants and, you know, a ski suit. I mean, you know, even the clothing we have, I would argue the clothing we have is not really suited for spending a lot of time outside when it's this cold. We could survive, but it wouldn't be comfortable. I would say we both need a good pair of ski pants. That way, if we do, you know, because they're insulated.
And long underwear.
Yeah, and long underwear. We have, well, you don't have long underwear, do you?
I think I had that white pair, remember?
Okay.
He said was,
Yeah. So,
oh yeah, I wore them in Illinois.
So if you have to go out now, I don't know how to say, you know, look, I lived in Texas for 40 years. And
the wind blows too hard. Everybody goes and runs to get their coat.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when it's 30 degrees, you don't bundle up like it's -7. What?
Well, to them it's cold.
Yeah. But, and, you know, and the beard actually makes a difference. It actually keeps the face warm and the chest warm, too. But, I don't know, stay warm, but I guess, was it the first winter we lived in the United States, I was up in Austin. And, that winter in Austin, oh my gosh, you want to talk about snow.
Well, Austin's pretty far north, isn't it?
Well, it's just north of San Antonio, about an hour and a half.
Oh, I thought it was up in the Panhandle.
Oh, no. Austin is central, but it's part of the hill country. So it's higher elevation.
Oh.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know if I doubt I have them anymore. Picture from Zilker Park. They had this, play thing or whatever that looked like a ship, but they used like round wooden
playground, like.
Yeah, and they had these round wooden posts, and you know they had it so it was shaped like a ship, and I'm standing on it, and there's snow everywhere, and you know I was like, oh cool, you know I like the snow. The first time I saw snow was in France, and we were moving from Spain to
Probably,
to
what,
Germany.
about 2 years old, maybe?
Yeah, probably two, 2 or 3, probably around 2. I don't know. But
You still have your lederhosen, don't you?
yep, I still have my lederhosen, folks. The lederhosen are made of leather. It's all leather.
I can't imagine it would be very warm, though.
Well,
Leather.
leather is warm.
Well,
Doesn't
I
breathe
guess you have
much.
something on under it, like stockings or something like.
Yeah. But we were driving through France. We were up in the mountains because we were driving from Spain to Andorra to Francais to France. France.
Voulez-vous français?
Parlez-vous français? And I don't know if I don't know if it was there or if it was as we went up into Switzerland. One of those 2 areas. There was snow. I mean, it was deeper than I was tall.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm like, because, you know, I'm from southern Spain, and we don't get snow. I mean, if it does snow in southern Spain, it's like South Texas, you know.
Last 10 minutes and it melts.
Yeah. So, you know, I wanted to go out and play in the snow, and my parents stop the car, we get out, you know, and I'm playing, and they let me play for a while, and then they're like, okay, it's time to go, Jaime, it's time to go. And I'm like, I threw a fit. I was like, no, I am going to play in the snow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, of course, you know how little I was. My parents, all they had to do was pick me up. And,
Your mom probably gave you a pop on the rope.
yeah. So.
Get back out of the car.
Yeah, so, and you didn't have to have car seats back in those days. But then again, that was Europe. I don't know how Europe is today. But
from what I understand, most cars are built kind of heavy, or they're like tanks. Especially if they're German made.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the first time I saw snow was in France, and from doggy daycare. Alyssa Porter Goodwin found out her dog was part of the wreck when she drove by the scene of the crash and saw the van.
I came across it on the top of a tow truck, and
doggies being taken to doggy daycare, and there's a wreck, and all the dogs go everywhere else.
She covered quite a bit of ground.
But officers say one small white dog
we got out
longer than the others. This furry fugitive on the land was finally caught after a bloodhound of an officer saw a clue.
As I was driving down one of the streets, noticed a drag mark. That dog did have his leash still on.
Oh.
Fell in the corner, stuck in some bushes. Was Patches.
Oh.
All the dogs are expected to be okay, and at least one dog owner grateful for all the.
They got a little fresh air in us.
Yeah. Got some exercise. Oh my. So anyway,
A little
folks.
adventure.
Yeah.
Chase a squirrel.
Yeah. Stay safe. Don't be going out there unless you have, you know, like I take Lucky out, but I'm not, yeah, and I'm not out there very long, and I have this coat in the kitchen.
And this is New Hampshire, not Texas.
Yeah, so, you know, and I like this weather, believe it or not. I mean, my wife probably thinks I'm crazy that I like this weather.
Depends on what mentality I'm into, too. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. When I've had to struggle to get home and everything, I kind of like,
yeah. And I mean, right now we're not having to drive, so, well, you know, even if we were, I don't think it would be bad because they've been salting, sanding, plowing.
And we don't have a lot of snow either.
Yeah, and since it's not wet, you're not
5 below wind chill in Boston.
Oh my.
Temperature's 10, wind chill is 5 below.
Wow, that's in Boston, folks. We're not that close to the water. We're further inland, but in the summer it's humid.
I think it's a good thing we didn't move to the coast, or closer to the coast, you know. And we went to the other side of Concord.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
that's,
might not be too bad, but you go a lot farther over.
yeah.
You go to Manch, I think you get a lot of snow.
Yeah, I
over
think
there.
so. It looks like the storm may have moved out now.
7 below for Jaffrey.
7 below for Jaffrey, which is right down the road from us. So it looks like maybe they're getting snow down there in Boston, and I don't know. Anyway, but it's cold, and -11, and I can't see. Sawney, -15.
Winnipeg is 24 below.
24 below in Winnipeg, folks. So, you know, we have a different weather pattern here than we did in Texas. In Texas, weather either comes from the Gulf of Mexico, from the West Coast, like California, Oregon, Washington, southern BC, or it comes from the west coast of Mexico and over the mountains in northern Mexico. Here, like what they're showing there, our cold air in the winter comes from Canada, just like directly down. So it gets cold. I mean, it gets cold. I mean, when it's -7, I don't think any part of Texas has ever been -7. I mean, maybe once 5 trillion zillion years ago. But, you know,
all the rattlesnakes are freezing to death.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah,
My blood!
it's gonna
Gone!
yeah, 8 below to 10 above tonight. But is that Boston, or is that?
That's probably Boston. Maybe get lower.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like it's gonna stay cold for a while. But, you know, I mean, as long as it doesn't rain, then you're not gonna have the ice conditions that.
Oh, Illinois was horrendous for freezing rain. That was like
It just builds up,
every
doesn't
winter we had freezing rain one time or another.
it? It just builds up, just
Hell.
layer after layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh shit. And what, you know, if there's snow out there, it eventually compresses and turns into ice. And oh, yippee!
And we have one of the things the one thing that I don't like. How do I say? Driving when it's, you know, cold but it's not icy is fine, but we have potholes here
Oh God.
that you could get lost in. And
Lose the car in the pothole.
yeah, and we're driving down the road, and if I'm driving, I'm like trying to. It probably looks like I'm drunk, you know, because I'm trying to, you know.
Swerve dodge the pothole.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to do because there's so many of them, and some of them are really big.
You usually got a mass hole right behind you.
Yeah, and that's, oh gosh, you don't want to know about them. They're, and sometimes they'll be behind you acting like they have something important to do. They have to get somewhere fast, and they get in front of you, and they slow down. I'm like, they don't turn down their brights. They don't use their turn signals. Anyway. So,
Don't get him started.
yeah. But, anyway, so stay safe. I mean, you know, like I said, I lived in Texas for 40 years, so I remember one year in San Antonio, they shut down the roads, the freeways, because the temperature was going to get to like 30 degrees or something.
God.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, you actually don't want to shut down the roads. Because when you shut down the roads, that allows for the ice to build up. If you have vehicles on the road, that helps to break up any ice that is forming and keep it from reforming. And you have the exhaust from the vehicles, you have the vehicles rolling over with the tires, you have the heat from the engine.
We get a little bit of moisture from the exhaust, but hopefully it burns off before it becomes ice.
Yeah. So, you know, I was working with a guy, well, not when that happened, but a while after that, and he had been living in Alaska, and he decided hey, you know what? Nobody's going to be on the roads. I'm going to go out and have a nice, enjoyable drive. Like the old Sunday drives, for those who remember Sunday drives. I don't think people do that much anymore. But, so he goes out, he's on the freeway, he's driving down the road, and a cop pulls him over. The cop asks for his ID, gives him his driver's license. He still had his Alaska driver's license. The cop just shook his head and said, "Go home." He's like, I mean, he wasn't like worried that this guy was going to have an accident, because, although I will say this, San Antonio and much of Texas, they have overpasses. You know, they know better than to make a lot of stuff like that here. Although we do have a lot of bridges, because we have it's mountainous, hilly and mountainous, and lots of rivers and lakes and ponds.
It seems like they stack things up in Texas.
Yeah.
That doesn't work well when you got frost.
No.
Then they get nice and slick.
Yeah. So.
I heard there's one that's like double decker.
Oh yeah, they have places like that. Yeah. And there's one road in San Antonio. You're on I-10, and there's part of the road goes down, part of the road goes up, and then they come back and meet again. Just, you know, a few, like 200 or 300 yards away. I think it's just to divert traffic so it doesn't build up.
I know in one place in Springfield there's a slight, I mean, not a huge hill. I mean, it's just a little hump in the road like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But people, kind of, it gets slick a little bit, and then there's people,
No.
and
So,
it's not a hill, it's just a little tiny hump.
Yeah.
Like you need to flatten that part of the road out, guys.
Oh, and another thing we have to deal with are, what do they call them, ice or frost heaves.
Frost heaves. We haven't had many this. I haven't seen many this year.
Well, the other day
When we first moved up here, remember that one road we went on? Oh my God, it was like ridges and it looked like baby mountains in the road.
The other day when the plow guy came, I just took the car out because we had a little gas, so I drove around, because plus we're looking for an apartment, a bigger apartment, so I figured, well, maybe I'll see a sign somewhere. Well, whatever road I was on, oh my gosh.
Ridges, huh?
Yeah, they were boom, 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 boom.
Oh God.
And there were no ice heave signs, but that's because during the summer it's not that bad. Frost heaves, yeah. Because during the summer when it's warm, that road's not like that, but.
Or they have to fix them.
Yeah.
Too.
So, I don't know. I mean, you know, in a way, I want to say, you know, be careful in South Texas, but I'm sorry, 30 degrees. 30 degrees just. I understand though, because I lived there 40 years.
Well, it's not funny when you have to put on 4 T-shirts to stay warm.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And up here, I mean, my gosh, sometimes some of the guys that work at the fur factory behind us, you'll see them out there in T-shirts when it's.
Or in shorts.
Yeah, when it's like 30 degrees. I'm like,
nuts.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'll go and stand in the front door if it's snowing a lot just to look outside. Well, I can't now because John will take off.
Well, you have to grab him.
Yeah, and, you know, I'll go without a shirt on and I'll look outside, but I won't stay out there. I'm not actually going outside, and I won't just stand there forever because
one day I did have to, he shot out the door on me. I did run out there in my bare feet, but I didn't stay out very long.
So, anyway.
Of course, he wouldn't come up under the car willingly. He was like, oh, yeah. Right. You think I'm going out easily?
So, stay
like
safe.
John.
Yeah. So, stay safe, but for those of you in areas like Texas, think about what the weather is up here. Yeah, I know, I mean, you're mentally and physically acclimated to your environment. You're not acclimated to our environment. My gosh, if my wife and I went to San Antonio or even Austin right now, we probably would not wear a heavy coat because to us it would be too warm. But if you came up here, like if our daughter came up here,
You're not getting me on a damn bus again.
oh
I was about ready to kill that guy in front of me.
yeah. But if our daughter came up here right now, I don't care what she had with her, she'd probably freeze to death, or she might feel like she was. You know, so I seriously doubt she has.
We'd have to find her a wool sweater in a hurry.
Yeah, because I seriously doubt she has the right kind of clothes for this environment. And you never know with our weather, you never know, because
I know you live in Texas, but you better keep some winter clothes around.
yeah,
Even you have to hang them in the back of the closet, stash them in the back of the closet.
yeah. And like I was saying, we get that winter weather from Canada. It comes from straight, and
Or we get a nor'easter.
oh my, those are.
That's what they're calling this.
Yeah, and you have to think, where is Canada getting their weather from? The Arctic. So, it's coming straight down. It doesn't have a chance to really warm up. And then you get the hurricanes in the summer that come straight up the East Coast.
They don't do that very often, it seems like.
No. But then again,
Usually turn out into the ocean before they get to us.
yeah. And then, like I said, I lived in Texas 40 years. I've experienced many a hurricane, and I've experienced typhoons.
But they had to move up here to experience an earthquake.
Yes. And we've had, what, 2 of them?
That one was like a tremor. I mean, it was like a 3-something.
Mm. So.
It started out like in Virginia or something.
Oh.
Because the rock, there's so much rock in the ground, it travels
Yeah.
far here.
So anyway, so stay safe. Wrap up. I mean, you don't want to wear cotton. You want to wear wool.
There's probably one wool sweater in all of Texas.
Yeah.
And the moths are chewing on it.
Yeah. What other fibers are good for wintertime, for cold weather? Wool.
Well, you can wear cotton, but you have to layer it.
Yeah. They have that fleece cotton or cotton fleece.
Well, they say acrylic is warm, but to me it's so-so.
So
Wool is warmer than acrylic to me.
this is almost a 30-minute video, guys. So
Polar fleece, maybe.
Polar fleece. Yeah, just stay warm. Be safe. Think before you go out.
Get too cold, light yourself on fire.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
No.
So
Teasing.
just think about.
Stick your finger in the toaster. Ow!
Think about, are you going to be out for a long time? Are you going to be out in the elements? Like if you take the city bus, then you're going to want to really wrap up.
Do they have bus shelters, or do you have to just stand at a sign?
Bus shelters.
I know some places you just stand next to a street sign.
Yeah,
like,
some places in San Antonio are like that. Yeah, probably most of them. It's just a sign there.
Yeah.
So, like if you have to do that, you really want to bundle up.
That's a pain in the you-know-what.
Yeah. You really want to bundle up. If, because when you're on, I know what it's like riding the bus, and when you're trying to get from one bus to another bus, it's like.
Thank God I never had to ride the bus.
Oh, gosh.
Because I would have had to go, I lived on the west side of South 5th was here and South 6th was here, and South 5th was, this 5th was outbound and 6th was inbound. I would have had to get across like 8 lanes of traffic to get to the bus stop because it was on the other side of the street without a car.
Oh, and guess what? It snowed the year that it snowed when I was in Austin. Technically, my home was in Alief, Texas, which at that time was a small farm town. It snowed in Alief. I used to have a picture. It wasn't much. I mean, you could still see the grass, but it was a little snow there. Our dog, Lassie, she was a dachshund. My mother let her out the back door. She went right back inside. She's like,
That one year it snowed in De Leon because you have a picture of his car sitting out there.
Yeah. But De Leon's North Texas. So, anyway, bye-bye.